How do we get our kids to eat healthy? Well, check that out on Homeschool Arcade. Hey everyone, today we're talking about practical tips and ideas of what we can do to get our kids to eat healthy. That infamous question that every parent wishes they could have answered. Well, we're hoping that these tips might give you a little bit of direction to help you with that. So let's get right to it. Number one, the first tip is, well, for those of you homeschooling, make your meals part of your lesson plans. So if you're learning about Asia, well, take some time to introduce them maybe to some Asian cuisines to different regions of Asia, or if you're learning about science, use science and cooking at the same time because there's tons of it in there. Math as well, use math in your cooking so that way the eating and the education, all of it kind of melds together. If you're learning about the human body, well, take time to learn how different foods impact the bodies in what ways and let your kids eat them as you're introducing that to them. For instance, like carrots to the eyes and milk to the bones. Number two is get your kids involved. Include your children in helping create the menu that they're going to eat. And in doing so, you're going to give them a sense of ownership and they're going to feel like, all right, they were part of this process of the food that's before them to eat. And maybe they'll be more likely to eat the food. So let them help pick out the meals, or maybe discuss different ways you can make their favorite meals for them. Or maybe let them help in the kitchen and let them make the meals with you. One thing my family does is we use misfit boxes where we order produce in our home, and we actually let our kids go online with us and help pick out the fruits and the vegetables that we're having delivered to our home. And so it's a great way for them to take some ownership of their health so that they feel more likely that they're going to eat some of that food. All right, tip number three, turn new foods into an adventure. Now, for younger kids, you can cut the food out into fun shapes or make designs and things on a plate just so, like the old smiley face on a piece of bread with peanut butter or something like that. And then for older kids or teens, try out new and exotic foods and make it fun. An example of this would be, we have a number of videos on our channel called Mystery Fruits. And our objective in doing Mystery Fruits was to get our kids to try out new fruits that normally they would never try. And so we've had some fun experiences with that. They found some that they like, some that they don't, but they're trying new things. So make food an adventure. Number four, play with the flavors. Let's be honest, sometimes healthy food doesn't always taste good, and you got to find a way to disguise some of those flavors in healthier foods with stronger flavors that the kids really enjoy. And we do this a lot of times when you put in healthy foods in stews or soups or stir fries or casseroles. So this could be anything as simple as, some salt and pepper, or maybe adding some herbs and spices and sauces. Another way that you can play with the flavors is, find healthy substitutions. One thing that works really well in our family is we've actually substituted sour cream, where we've basically taken sour cream out of our diet and we've replaced it with 2% Greek yogurt. And this works great because it tastes just like sour cream, but it's a little bit healthier, a little higher in protein, and it's, believe it or not, it still works great on a taco. Number five, out of sight, out of mind, or in sight and in the mind. We need to make sure that we are careful with how available we're making foods that, we need to be a little more careful about how much we eat. So when it comes to that bag of potato chips or perhaps the ice cream, make sure those things are stored in places where you don't necessarily see them all the time. And you want to put the healthy foods out in the open so they're easier and more accessible to them. I have found that, for instance, if I take a bag of potato chips and they are put away, I'm less likely to snack on them because they're not right there in front of me. But if you put a big bowl of fruit and blueberries and grapes, I'm more likely to grab a little bit of that fruit because, the bad food is out of mind and the good food is in the mind. And another helpful thing to do with this is maybe don't buy quite so much junk food. And then that way it's not going to be there for you to nibble on later on. All right, last tip, number 6, lead by example. This is probably the best tip I can give you, is to lead by example. Your kids are watching you, watching every single thing that you do. And so when it comes to the way you eat, the way you handle your nutrition, your health, and the day-to-days in terms of how you provide for yourself and food, they're learning from that as well. So make sure you are setting an example that you know that your kids are going to benefit from. So, helping your kids to learn and eat healthy is not going to be an easy journey. Some days will be great, and there will be days that, we're going to have some setbacks. But keep going, don't give it up. In the end, the right foods and avoiding some of these junk foods will help you have a healthier family. And I hope your kids will learn to enjoy eating healthier. So if you've enjoyed this video and the content that we've made, go ahead and click like, subscribe, and the bell, so that way you can be notified of other content we have coming your way. And you all have a good one.